Right, move on. So from the marketing of dance, we're going to take a look at the business of dance production. We have with us Randy Halfhide. Let me tell you a little bit about Randy, please. He's the owner of Another Idea Limited. This is one of our nation's oldest event, and of course, corporate support company. While not on stage as a dancer, he does enjoy the art form, and he supports this expression through many activities, which he says he can master. On stage, Randall is best known as costume and set designer, and he has produced works for people like Heather Headley, the Marionettes Chorale. He worked on Les Miserables, Carmen the Opera, and the musicals The King and I, Mahalia, and of course, Jesus Christ, the Superstar, which I think ended yesterday? Tomorrow, sorry. My facts wrong, okay. That's tomorrow. So let's welcome Randy Halfhide. This is Dance Production.
Wow. It's not easy when you be the last speaker. And all your points that you wrote about, you watch them simply flutter away. I go, oh, Sean, thank you very much. But one of the key things that I learned is you may love dance, but how good is your product? As a business person, you can't sell rubbish. I had the honor of working with the Repertory Dance Theatre. I never met Astor. I would see him in a distance. I would understand his views through dance. This morning was an eye-opener when I not only listened, but felt the passion that people have. You may say, why? I'm not a dancer. I'll tell you a very funny story. When I suddenly got this bright idea that I could dance, my friends kind of rolled their eyes and go, really? So I took my two left feet and I enrolled in the Trinidad Dance Company, Trinidad Dance Theatre. At that time they ran classes on Picton Street. Early up in the game, you realize, listen, you is not to be on stage, right? You learn very quickly that when you hit another dancer, they don't greet you with a smile. They want to cuss you. I was never graceful. I was never strong. This body that you see right now, 200 pounds, was once 110. And I just love the idea of being part of dance. That said, and the reality hit very clearly that you couldn't be on stage. There's no way you could be on stage. But you're bitten by this bug that says, I love dance. I want to be part of it. I had the honor of attending a Repertory Dance Theatre show. I was blown away by the significance of these little things that Astor would do. This morning we talked about a hand and a rag that hung a man. You know what? I laughed to myself because right this evening, I'm at Queen's Hall doing the very same thing. I'm hugging Judas. And the rope comes down, and it's timed and everything, and you wonder, wow, but I'm not part of dance. You are part of dance. You are creating the atmosphere and creating the things that dancers need. Now I had this lovely long dissertation. Don't get panic, it's in double print because you know when the eyes go in, what happens. But I'd like to ask one question, and I want people to really shout it out. And I want you to complete this sentence. Dance is, and I'm going right there, I like to point the people and put them on the spot. Right there. Dance is. Dance is. Dance is. You? Joy. Dance is. In the back.
Like passion.
hide their passion. Strange, nobody said dance is business. Not one of you said dance is business. Why? Because the reality of this is that you cannot exist in Trinidad and Tobago on dance. That's it, plain and simple. When I was writing this, I wrote and I scratched out and I edited, and then something really formidable hit. To create that dance, I need a lighting technician. To create that dance, I need the correct music. To create that dance, I need costuming. To create that dance, I need somebody to tell me to choreograph it, to tell me to challenge my talents wherever they are. But you know what? The lighting technician, the person doing the choreography, the costume people get more than you. The reality is they make more money than you. And without you being on stage, there's no dance. So that's pure business. You know, people go around and say, oh, it was a lovely dance. And when you hear, bet your life you're getting a bill from, you know, the lighting man that come in first, bam, right? But without the dancer on stage, showing off his craft, where are we? So sometimes your call, as with mine, was not to be on stage. I learned that very clearly. It's not to be on stage. And I take a very quick look at what LaShawna said. I can't tell you the amount of freebies that I have done. You know that infamous word? Come and put up a little thing here now. How many times have you heard that? Just a little drape with something. And for the dancer, oh God, a little come and go a little opening, you know, a little shake with something. No more than 3 minutes, no big thing. How long do you take to create that 3 minutes? How long do you suffer the gusto, the food missing, the all kind of things to have 3 minutes on stage? And then people come and tell you, it was all right. You know, I find that fella in the back there, he out of time. But let me tell you something. This red man, I mean, Derek was talking about this morning about being peeled. Imagine me, Randy Halfhide, going to TV6 to say, I represent the Astor Johnson Repertory Dance Theatre. And go, oh. Right? But you know what? I was so proud to represent that because the product was exceptional. I never met Astor. I wish I hear into with Alison everybody talk about this passion. I never met him. I wish I had. I really wish I had met Astor to really understand what he was all about. I had to learn a lot of the times from Alison's videos and stuff and try to conjure up in my mind, what is he saying? I see his sister here and I, you know, if I could just say, I just wish I met your brother just for like 15 seconds. What would he say? I think he would have touched many a heart. Astor sold his soul on the stage. Astor sold his soul to dance. Many of you see dance as this lovely self-opinionated or whatever, self-satisfaction entity. Dance is not only that. There's a passion that lives within all of you that must resonate through you into the audience. And not only that, it can only resonate if the product is good. Now, for the people who know the workshop, the Astor Johnson workshop, and this is something that I'll pause for a moment and bring greetings from Gary DeMattis. Gary's in Canada. Unfortunately, he had a little medical thing that he had to do, and he couldn't join us today. But he asked me to please, please, please extend his congratulations to the committee and to the audience for thank you for being here, for understanding Astor. One of the many stories that Gary told me, and I think Alison's going to laugh when I say this, There was a rather full-bodied woman called Twinkle. That's giggling, she was well going. Twinkle loved to dance. Now, when you watch Twinkle, you go like, she could dance. When you saw on the little carrot stage, she danced her heart and soul out. And guess what? She represented everybody that they said they couldn't do it. She danced her life away. I, being the little red boy, the brave boy who really don't care, said, why are you dancing? You know, quite. She said, listen, I do it because I love it. I do it because I want to do it. And guess what? In years to come, my name will be on that program that I dance with Astor Johnson. And nobody can pay me for that or give me a bigger bonus. If that is not a businesswoman, I don't know what is. Her payment was the actual love for dance. Now, don't get me wrong. Love the Watermassey stores. As we all know. Love the Watermassey stores. And while I agree with LaShawn at carnival time that, we do the hustle, too many times I hear it as a hustle and not as an art form. Don't feel because you're shaking, as people say, shaking your body for marching or dancing. Because without you, there is no excitement on stage. But as a dancer, you are selling a product and you must demand the rapping. In other words, how many of you go to a soca store or soca event and have to dance or dress in under a tent, mud, I think, oh yeah. Right? And you go, oh well, I'm paying my dues. How long they paying their dues? I think Alison's still paying her dues. I know people laugh at that, right? Why must we continue to pay dues when the product we have is a product of excellence? Astor didn't sell halfway anything. I continue to marvel, and I listened to Poole this morning and I listened to Derek. I continue to marvel at the number of things that Astor looked at. The Black Power movement, rape, or sexuality, all these things, which were back in 1970, and guess what? If you produce an Astor Johnson piece today, it's as relevant as it is today as it was in 1970 something. I just marvel at the product we have. I am saddened that the product we have is not a business. One of my great sadness one year was working with the company, and that same week, the Jamaican National Dance Theatre came. You couldn't get a ticket in Queen's Hall. It was run out, right? I go, wow. So I went and managed to beg my way to when I get a ticket, sit down in row F, I remember distinctly. And I watched, and no discredit to the Jamaican dance company. I said, we better than that. We better than that. We are better than that.
Yeah.
Why it is that they can fill a hall and we are stuck with minions in front, and the poor dancer is now giving his heart and soul out to 20 people in the front row. We laughed this morning when reference was made to the small audience that Pearl had to do. About 5 people in the audience, 2 of which were her children. Right? What is your role? Your role may not be on stage as man. Your role may be an external force. I learned, I said very early up in the game, listen, you is not the dance. You can't dance. Don't care how hard you try. And Alison would be pleasant and she'll watch me and go, She said, well, if you're wrong, be wrong and strong. You know, if you bounce a dancer, that's necessary. But you have to entertain the reality of business. Entertain the fact that there are a number of entities out there that will fulfill your need for the love of dance. If you can't make it on stage, clearly examine what is out there that you can mold to suit you. As I said, my forte is marketing, right? And I had the pleasure of working on Astor 1 and 2. That's when we did that kind of comeback. And I was there at the Caribbean School of Dance, row. I would take up space. I was there at every performance at Queen's Hall. You know what? Dance is now. No dance has ever repeated itself. Don't care how hard you try. Every time you perform it, it is a new piece. And until you understand that, you're lost in it all. Because you have to make sure that that new piece you put on stage is the best thing to slice bread. Right now I'm watching Jesus Christ Superstar, and I go there every time and people said, yeah, tired seeing this show. Yeah, because I marvel at the way the dancers traverse the stairs, and I laugh sometimes, ooh, a little error there, you know. But it's new, it's fresh. And nobody can tell me that that product is not worth anything. Too many times I hear, well, it was okay. Be mindful when you speak to other dancers. And I hear this too, that while you want to be a critic, do it with finesse. Do it with constructive things on your mind. How many times do you hear, well, you get a movement wrong, you know. I tell you, you ain't practiced enough. I don't hear the follow-up of saying, you know, you got it wrong. You should really try to get X, Y, Z. We are quick to criticize. We are quick to pull down. We are not quick to help. I am so glad that I had the opportunity to be part of this. As I said, all of these papers was for zero, quickly, in 5 minutes, because I'm not about to repeat what the other people have said with even more passion. And the fact that they knew Astor, they can speak to the heart and soul that is Astor Johnson. I am proud of LaShawn, who internationally is going leaps and bounds with her dance. And I'm proud to say, yeah, I was part of that movement when she was with Astor Johnson. I remember very clearly, and Derek would attest to this, he talked about color. There was a little girl called Candice Howong. Candice Howong went to Auntie Flora's Barbie School. Candice Howong was brave enough to come into an Astor Johnson audition and audition for a part. I remember 2 days into her dance fair, she was crying on my shoulder. And I said, what's wrong? You know. She said, this is more than a company. I have so many mummies in here. And that lived in my memory. Astor Johnson did not only produce a company or a workshop, he produced a family. And a family that protected their own. In this case, it was a little small Chinese girl who only knew ballet. And all of a sudden, you were asking her to do these folk movements that confused her totally. Right? That said, Candice toured with Kes for 3 years and was one of the main dancers on stage, doing 3 shows, 4 shows. And every time I saw her, she would say, hey, dance the Astor. It showed that you can't come into a company like this and expect a product and push it halfway. not going to happen. You have to believe in your product. Right? You have to believe in your product. In closing, I just like to look at one thing. They asked me to speak about dance as a business. And I said, oh, okay. And as I said, I wrote these wonderful pages, and my secretary will be cussing me right now because I haven't picked up one piece.
We won't tell her.
Don't tell her, please. But the magic is dance being the first line in that way. Dance as a business, as opposed to the business of dance. Big difference. When you meet somebody and they tell you, well, give me a little thing now. Well, I only had $200 in it, but all I don't need nothing more than that, or they're just shaking all their waist. They have not a clue what dance as a business is. They're looking purely at the dollars and cents to resell you. He knows your value. So while he may be paying you $200, when he goes to the corporate Republic Bank and so on, you want to open, I can give you opening, and you charge them $2,000. And people go, ooh, right? That is business. That is business. He looks at your resale value. How many of you really take the time to examine your self-worth? How many of you say, this is what I am worth? Now, it could be for free. You could perform for free. But guess what? At the end of the day, you must be satisfied. As a dancer, you must be satisfied to say, you know what? I gave it the best shot I could. I wooed the audience. I guarantee you'll walk away from that auditorium not even looking for payment. It's nice. I could go to Massey stores, right? But more importantly, you have that passion with you. Please, I urge you, think of the passion. Think of the people like Astor, who paved the way for people like you. I know when I got into the business of working with the Repertory Dance Theatre, it was an easy sell. The product was magnanimous. I learned so much about dancing. I know Miss Robert cringed when and even Roxanne and Allison would cringe when I attempted to do the workshop warm-up. That was a sight to behold. But you know what? I am ever so grateful for Astor Johnson because he's taught me one thing. Look beyond the borders. Look beyond today. Dance is today. Dance is right now. Dance is for the future. What can you do to package your passion and sell it as an honest business? Thank you very much.